Hey, grace and peace to each and every one of you. Just wanted to say hello to you and wanted to give you just some additional information as we prepare ourselves for our study time tomorrow. As you have been hopefully made aware of, we're going to be using a lot of our time on tomorrow to look at our biblical reference of Matthew chapter 5, where we're going to be looking at the verses, Matthew 5, verses 23 and 24. Hope you had a chance to kind of read up on those references. We're going to look at how to expositorily examine the scripture, to interpret the scriptures, to try to find the central idea of the text of choice, look at how to interpret our findings, and then use that interpretation to create major ideas where we can teach or preach what we observe, and then how we work on how to proclaim that in what you call preaching or teaching. But prior to that, I wanted to just encourage you and to thank you so much for your faithfulness in your study and then representing the Lord our God in all that you do. I had ran across some very interesting additional findings for our time together as we are looking at the inner spiritual disciplines of the discipline of study. And I was really amazed at why Brother Foster had used the discipline of study and put it in the internalized or the inner spiritual disciplines. And it made sense once I was led to one of my most favorite books, and that is Our Father Abraham by Marvin Wilson. This is a very, very personal and very dear book, and I encourage you. I'm just going to hold it up. The subtitle is Jewish Roots to the Christian Faith. And so this is a great, great, great book, and I encourage you to look at it. And I had redid my library, and I placed some of the most pertinent books close to me. And in my study time, as I was preparing for tomorrow, I ran across a very interesting analysis by Brother Wilson as it pertains to our study of the discipline of study for our class on tomorrow. And I'll just read this, and it kind of speaks for itself. Study as worship, which was a great, great analysis from him, and that resonated to me, and then it made sense as to why Brother Foster included it in the inner spiritual disciplines. The question of motivation, Wilson says, for learning has been a problem for so long. He stated that people seek education for many reasons. Many of them are worthy, such as some desire to broaden their horizons, while others wish to develop skills. Others want to satisfy their intellectual curiosity. And none of these things are wrong. However, he states that the Bible teaches that study ought to be above everything else an act of worship, one of the highest ways by which a person can glorify God. Again, it is important to emphasize, and this is the ancient influence that he's bringing to us today. It is very important to emphasize that the Hebrew word abada Abadai has a double meaning, and that double meaning seems that there are contradictory terms, but Abadai means work and worship. And thus, in the Hebraic or the Jewish tradition, study as well as prayer is worship. Like it is called by the name of the service to the altar. Abadahai, that's Aboddah. And in his academic brilliance, and also he has a reference from the Talmud, it is for this reason in the Talmud, the synonym for education is nothing more than heavenly work. And I just want to leave that to you, and I want us to meditate on that and take that to heart as we never from this day forth minimize the importance of this internalized spiritual discipline of study. And I pray that the Lord will bless and keep each and every one of you as we enter into the latter part of our study for tonight. Grace and peace.